What a beautiful life I'm in.
All that I've got is all that I need. I got you, baby, you got me. What more could I ask for? Beautiful life. Beautiful life. Beautiful life. What a beautiful life. Beautiful life. Listen, I woke up this morning, y'all. The sun was shining oh so brightly. I thought about how good this life is. Back in the day, it wasn't always like this. I think about the things we done been through. I think about the place that I come from. It wasn't always easy, so every day I'm thanking God for the beautiful people everywhere I go. I just need to see your smiling faces at my show. And when you're feeling real love from the family, every day is a gift, y'all, that's all I need.
What a beautiful life I'm in.
All that I've got is all that I need. I've got you, baby, you got me. What more could I ask for? Beautiful life. Beautiful life. Beautiful life. What a beautiful life.
Beautiful life.
Happiness, you know, it feels real good, y'all. For us to get it, then we gotta work hard, y'all. Every day. And don't pay attention to the things they say when they tell you that you can't make it, but you can if you try, y'all.
Hey, everybody. Are you all enjoying this wonderful weather we're having? I know I am. I'm enjoying it, except for I have allergies, asthma, and a cold. So it doesn't mix with this, with this weather. It's like my chest is tight, my nose is stuffy, and I'm waking up like a 2-year-old in the middle of the night complaining about I can't breathe and I can't catch my breath. And it's just a mess. But it's beautiful weather. But I need to know what's going on downtown because the traffic is horrible. I came by the convention center and they're not even going off of the traffic lights. They're using, police direction. And out here on the Main Avenue, to get on Main Avenue, that's backed up. I sat there for like 20 minutes. I was like, oh no, I'm leaving work late and I'm going to be late for the show. But I got here in plenty of time. So, whatever's going on, can somebody, tweet me or something and say, hey, this is what's going on. Avoid this area going home because actually I'm going to a baseball game tonight. I'm so excited. I got to go home and change though because I don't think you can wear a dress and heels to the baseball game. And I am not quite sure on what the etiquette is for baseball because like I'm used to going to football games where I can hoop and holler and, curse at the people on the field. And I don't really think you're allowed to do that in baseball, or can you? Because if so, then I'm going to have me a ball tonight. So we have a full show. Today I have the owner of Mojocastle Press, Stephanie Kelsey. Stephanie, can you hear me?
I can hear you.
How are you doing?
Oh, so far so good.
Okay, good. I don't hear anything in the background, but you know what our signal is if we do.
Oh, I'm actually in the car. It's my only quiet spot.
Oh, okay. So that's your solitude in the car. See what we have to do, people, when we have kids or little ones in the house. We got to sneak off to the car. Now, see, the bathroom used to work, but that doesn't work anymore because now they have figured out that they can lay on the floor and just call you from underneath the door. So now the car is the place. But how are you doing? How is the weather where you are down in Virginia?
It depends on. It really depends. It depends on when you're booking. It's been changing seconds. That looks been crazy.
Okay, so hopefully we don't lose your connection because you're going in and out. But I met you on Monday, which we had a ball at Cheesecake Factory. We all had wine and cheese. We didn't even get cheesecake, but you got cheesecake at home, right?
Oh, of course.
Oh yeah. So what kind did you get?
I'm sorry. Can you repeat that?
I said, which cheesecake did you decide to take home with you?
Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm really having trouble hearing.
Okay.
I'm getting a lot of echo off my phone.
Okay. Let me see if I can't call you from another phone. Okay. So there's
that might work. Yeah.
Okay. So there's another phone number that's going to be coming up. So you'll just disconnect from me and answer that call.
Okay.
Okay, see how this works, people, when you're on live? Oh, plug it in. Okay, see. All right. So let's see. Did she answer yet? How do I know?
Okay.
Oh, okay. Okay. So
I got you there.
Oh,
yeah, I can actually
right.
hear you now.
Okay, good. So, what was it? My phone? Maybe it was my phone. I'm not quite sure.
I'm not sure because I made sure. I was like, I'm nowhere near a computer and I'm
Right.
not on my speakerphone. So
So you followed all the directions. So, tell me about how long Mojocastle Press has been in business.
we've been in business since 2006. I've been in the industry for much longer, more than I'd want to admit because I'd have to admit my age.
Okay.
But we were established in 2006, and we've been running this ever since then.
Mm-hmm. And you are mainly an ebook publisher, but you do have some print novels.
That is correct. We're actually in the process of converting all of our ebook titles into print as well.
Mm-hmm. And so tell everybody the line, because your tagline is for discriminating adults. So tell everybody what it is that you actually publish.
We publish romance, erotic romance, and erotica.
And erotica. Y'all hear that, people? So Mojocastle Press, go log into their website right now so you can actually see what they offer. They have some great looking covers, and you have some really great authors with you. You were telling me about one of your best-selling authors. So how did you go about, first of all, how did you decide that you wanted to be an erotic publisher? Or was that going to be your main line that when you decided to be a publisher?
Well, ironically enough, my mother pointed me in that direction. I was copy editing for a mainstream press, and my mother joined forces with another person to create her own publishing company, and they decided to create an erotic imprint. At the time, that was brand new and exciting, and nobody had ever done it before, so of course it was a very good idea. And my mother suggested that I go over and help her partner because she was short on editors. And apparently I did a good job because she made me editor-in-chief. And I just caught the bug. It's a very interesting genre, and there's more to it than people think. So
right, because most people think that when it's erotica is, oh my God, it's just all about, sleazy sex and that's it. But it's actually,
exactly.
There's actually storylines in the novels.
That's the difference between erotica and porn, if it's okay to use that phrase.
It is.
It's referred to as chick porn in many cases, and the difference between erotica and straight-up pornography is that erotica is not only to stimulate the body, it's also to stimulate the mind. You have to, they have to be real characters. You have to care about them. You have to know, you want to see them get together. You want to see them get happy and have babies and everything else, or whatever happy ending actually happens. And that's the big difference. There's a lot of quality in erotica and erotic romance that, unfortunately, most people don't know about.
Right, because, most people, when they think erotica, they think the doorbell rings, the man says he's here to fix plumbing, and her panties fall off, miraculously.
Exactly. The pizza guy shows up, and, no, it's
right.
Not like that at all.
Exactly, like, I'm here to deliver your pizza, like that, like, really, people? Come on, and we can actually, I do read erotica. I'm not one of them people that's ashamed to say it. I read erotica because, first of all, one, the stories are incredible, because if you really look at the stories, they're really just like mysteries or suspense, because there is something underlying within the story itself.
They cross genre with almost any genre you can think of.
Exactly. But have you found it very hard to be in the mainstream, like, because you came out when it wasn't really, that acceptable across the board? Was it hard for you to market your novels, when you first started out in 2006?
In the beginning, yes. It was, you basically were treated like pornography. It's like, oh, let's get you to the back of let's put you in the back of the contest or the show or the bookstore because we don't want people looking at those covers, or, oh my goodness, that content, save the children. It was really tough, and we didn't have social media back then. I know that, once again, I'm dating myself, but, this was back in the early 2000s where, AOL was practically the only way to get online, and there was not social media outlets. So authors really had to get creative, especially when you couldn't go out in public with them.
Right.
And some authors were even afraid to admit that they wrote them. So, of course, they didn't want to do public appearances. So they had to get very creative with how they promoted and what they could do. And so social media has made it a lot easier to get word out there. But unfortunately, because of the ease of the electronic age, there's also more competition.
Right. So do a lot of your authors, because, first of all, how many authors do you have?
Approximately 35.
So do a lot of your authors, because they do write, erotica or in the erotica line, have you found that a lot of them are not using their real names?
I would say none of them do. I would imagine. Some of them are derivatives of their original name or close to their personal name, but I don't think any of them use their actual name for a pen name.
Okay. And
not for the erotica. I do have an author who uses her real name for her light romance / mystery.
And so have you found it hard to market? Because, a lot of people think, as a publisher, all you do is sit back and rake in the money. But really, that's not what happens, because you are all over social media. You and your husband, Ryan, you're all over social media. And you we were discussing this on Monday, that is like a 60-40 split, that not of the money, but of the way that publishers and authors need to promote each other. So what has been the biggest challenge in getting your authors to promote?
I think, part of the stigma that remains from the early days is that for a long time, authors were basically expected to shoulder the entire job. Mm-hmm. It's like, your book's out, sell it. I have never really felt that way, which is the reason why I don't have a lot of authors in my stable. I believe that the publisher if you think about it, we're selling a product, and any business is trying to sell a product has got to promote it. So, but I don't think it's all art on us either. So I think the authors are a little shell-shocked because they're afraid every time we say, okay, we'd like you to do this for promotion, they think that's the only promotion that's happening, and that's not true at all.
Right.
In the end, the authors need to get out there. People need to see them, because people will buy a book if they like the author.
Exactly.
They got to get to know them, and that's why there are things I cannot do no matter how much I promote, and that's one of them. They need to brand themselves, and they need to get out there and make friends, basically.
Right. And so when you sign, what goes into when you decide to sign an author? Do you have a set criteria in what you look for when you're looking to acquire an author, or is it just if the story moves you sign them?
I don't know if I'd necessarily call it a set criteria. I actually prefer to sign authors, not books. So I look at the whole picture. I want to hear about the author. I want to hear about if they've been published before. I want to know about their attitude towards editing. I want to know how they feel about promotion. I want to see if I can work with them, because I get very personal with my authors. I like to make them happy, and I like for them to be a part of the family. So, but in the end, yes, I need to see quality work, and I need to see something that gets my attention. I like the new, I like the obscure, I like out of the box. So a lot of times people are afraid, I can't show you that because it's kind of weird. Good, give it to me. I'll probably love it.
So the weirder, the better. Is that what you're saying?
What I'd like to see is what an author likes to write.
Okay.
Because I think that's how you get your best work. A lot of times, especially new authors coming out, they look at a formula and they say, you know what, that sold, so I have to write that book. Mm-hmm. And that's not their heart work. That's not what makes them happy. That's not what they really want to say. What I want to see is what they really want to say.
Okay. And so when you're in your submission process, some publishers have send me 3 chapters, send me the whole book, send me 50 pages. What is your submission process like? And how long does it take from beginning to end for you to get, because you are doing mainly ebooks, how long does that normally take?
Well, the submission process is basically, we ask for first 5 chapters, but it's not one of those things I like police with a fine-tooth comb. If somebody sends me the whole book, fine. As long as it's a readable document and I can open it, I'm pretty happy. I just The only thing I would say never ever do is please do not send me an email with it in the text. I will not even read it.
Yes.
But as far as I don't worry about what font it's in or how spaced it is. As long as you send me a nice, neat document, and I'm fine with that. The submission process itself varies because we are a small operation, and I personally want to oversee that end of the production because in the end, that's what I'm going to have to work with. So it's a two-part process. My husband receives the submissions, and then he gets them all nicely organized with a nice little spreadsheet, and he lets me know they're there. And then I go in and check them, and I either say yay or nay, and then he makes contact and lets people know. We try to get that done within 2 weeks of receipt of submission.
And so do you find that you have a busier time than others? Like, like say around the holidays or school opening or closing or the summer? Like, is there a busier time for you?
For submissions or for selling?
For submissions.
Not really. It seems to be fairly consistent and steady. We usually get the same amount per week.
Well, and since you mentioned it, what about selling? Is there a busier time? Like I know around the holidays, a lot of people are buying books because they're getting Kindles and all that type of thing. So is there a busier time for you?
It's more like there's gaps in, where people are more likely to buy books. One thing I have that has changed over the years that I've seen is there used to be huge empty spaces where people weren't buying books because back then ebooks were weird and nobody liked them. But now that ebooks you can literally, pull out your Kindle and buy a book while you're walking down the street. I haven't noticed as many fluctuations in sales. They're a lot more consistent.
Okay, so
obviously, after you put up a new book, you're going to see an upsurge because it's a new book and then people are excited, and then it's going to drop because people have moved on to the next new book. But
so, how many books do you put out in a month?
We go for 3 to 5 per month because we're going for quality. So as I said, I have to be the first and last line of defense on everything that goes in and out.
Okay.
So.
And so let me ask you, with the whole editing process, have you ever had to turn someone down because they did not want to do the edits?
I have, yes. Both numerous times within the myriad companies I've worked for, I have had to both turn people down initially in the submission process because they refused to edit, and I've also had to end in the editing process because they refused to go forward with it.
Wow. Okay. And so for most people, when they submit to a publisher, do they understand or do they come to you with a preconceived notion of, okay, this is what the cover is going to be, and I'm not going to really change the story? Like, do you have people coming to you already really just wanting you to do the work and put their book out, or are they ready to hand over control to you?
I think because of self-publishing, I think a lot more people are comfortable with the process. They have a better understanding. Back in the day, I used to get a lot of people who didn't understand, and they would panic at the thought of someone touching their baby or changing their prose. So I get a lot less of that now. I also try to alleviate those fears myself by, if I accept a book, when I send the acceptance letter, I will explain in detail in my initial pass what I see would need to be corrected, and if they're comfortable with making those corrections.
Oh, okay.
And so before they even sign the contract, if they are not ready to go through edits and accept them, then they don't have to sign the contract. And I will not begrudge them that, because I think that should be the author's choice in the end. Sometimes the author might feel they know better than the editor, and sometimes they might be right.
Right.
But I want that established from the beginning.
Exactly. So where exactly in Virginia are you located?
We're in Gainesville, Virginia.
And so what are some of the events that you have coming up within the next 30 to 60 days?
I actually needed to double-check the references on that because we were going to do some local events, but then we found that they were not quite suited for what we were trying to sell. So we're going to put an updated list up on our website,
okay,
Mojocastle.com, And we're also keeping people updated on all social media whenever we have upcoming events.
Okay, and so, like she said, if you want to check out where they're going to be, or if you even want to just buy their books, you can go to their website, which is mojocastle.com.
Yeah.
And like, I was stalking them, on social media. So they're on Facebook, and they're on Twitter, and they're on Instagram.
Basically go on any social media and type in Mojocastle. It's probably
Right, exactly. If you see Eric, could you put up the logo? If you see this logo, just know that this would be Stephanie. This is Mojocastle Press. So wherever you see this half crescent moon, then you know that that's Mojocastle Press, and they do some hot, steamy erotica romance novels. And they really do have some great books. And I thank you for joining me today. I'm so happy that we met on Monday, and that we're gonna possibly be doing some events together. And I'm hoping you enjoying that novel if you started it yet.
Certainly. I really appreciate you having me on.
Thank you. So again, look for Mojocastle Press. They are on Facebook. They're on Twitter, they're on Instagram, Tumblr, Pinterest, any social media that you type in Mojocastle Press. Mojocastle is one word, correct?
Yes.
Yes, Mojocastle is, because see, my first mistake was I kept doing it like Mojo and then Castle, which then I was like, well, that's not it. So it's one word. Mojocastle Press is one word, and look for them. And I thank you so much for joining me today. And we will be talking soon because, we got to go back to the Cheesecake Factory.
Of course. I look forward to it.
Thank you for joining me.
All right. Thank you.
Okay. Bye-bye. So as you heard, that was Stephanie Kelsey. Her and her husband, Ryan, they are two wonderful individuals. Met them on Monday at the Cheesecake Factory and just had a blast with them. And I was intrigued because they do erotica, which, a lot of people are scared to say that they publish erotica. And it's funny because they have small children, and they still publish, these very graphic but entertaining novels. So coming up, and I'm hoping that, I'm not having some issues with my phone or whatever, but coming up next, we're going to have Miss Bianca Moore, and she is actually a debut author. I met her. She was one of my biggest fans, and wherever I turned up, so did she. So, first I was like, oh, isn't that cute? She's always with me. And then she started to tell me that she had a novel. And I was like, wow, okay, what is it called? And at that point, which was last year, she was still in the process of writing it. And I said, well, as soon as you finish your novel, I want to have you on the show. And her novel came out, I want to say March 1st, but we'll get more into that with her on March 1st. But I just want to tell you about some events that's coming up. Mother's Day. Okay, I need all you guys, gals, husbands, sons to remember Mother's Day is coming on May 16th. It's a Sunday, so make sure, shop now, people. Don't be out there on Mother's Day morning getting your mother a gift. She birthed you, for heaven's sakes. So go out and get her a gift. May 23rd is the PG County Book Festival, and I'll be there. Mojocastle Press is going to try to be there. Bianca Moore is going to be there. We have a lot of people that's going to be. It's going to be at the Prince George's County I guess it's called the Wayne Curry Sports and Learning Complex on May 23rd. Is an all-day event. It is free, people, so come out. Find some great books for the summer, because you know why? Now, let me just tell you this, people, and this is how I know. There's only 38 more school days left. Well, for Charles County anyway. I don't know about PG County or D.C., but it's somewhere in that vicinity that is 38 minus or plus a few days of school left. Now, here's a tip for you parents. If you have not been to a conference this year and your child just got that third report card and they're failing, it's too late. Get your money together. They're going to summer school. So don't call the school complaining about your child needing some extra credit work. They could have got that extra credit work in 130 days that we already been in school. Okay? Don't call the school acting foolish, because you might get on the phone with me, and I'm just going to tell you, summer school costs $220 per class. You're going to need $440. Or if your child is failing in 3 classes, just get ready to buy some more clothes because they're going to be in the same grade next year. For all the graduating seniors over at Howard University, congratulations. I hope you're still working hard because graduation is not here yet, people. You still need those thesis papers in and all those extra things you need to do. But, you know, you should have your cap and gown ordered, and you probably should have received them by now. Invitation should have went out in the mail already. If you're having graduation parties for my 12th grade seniors graduating high school, please be responsible. Parents, be responsible for your children. They are still your responsibility, even though they may be 18 years old. Please be responsible for your children. I was out in Vegas last weekend, y'all, and I just got to tell you, I had a ball. Okay, that's how I got a cold, I think. But because let me just tell you, these people on the plane, they don't cover their mouth. And okay, maybe I should not put the name of the airline out there, but I'm going to. Frontier Airlines, they got us on the plane coming home. No, first of all, we were 2 hours late. Let's just talk about that. We were 2 hours late getting on the plane because now the plane was sitting there. It was early. It got there at 9 o'clock. We didn't get on the plane until 11:30. We got on the plane. Everybody got situated. As soon as the last person sat down, the pilot came on and said, "We're sorry for the delay, but we're going to have to deboard because there is a mechanical issue." Really? Because didn't you know that when all 232 of us was getting on that plane 20 minutes ago? So we get off and they say, it's going to be 10 minutes. It's only going to be 10 minutes. So let me just tell you, I didn't leave Las Vegas until 5:20 in the evening on Sunday. I didn't get back here until Monday morning. So let me just tell you, that's probably why I got a cold too. And then they charge you for everything except for water. Now, isn't that a sin and a shame? Just a sin and a shame, people. So on the line right now, I have Miss Bianca Moore. Are you here, Bianca?
Yes, I'm here. Hi, Miss Swangin.
Hey, so how are you doing today?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. So first, congratulations on your new novel.
Thank you. Thank you.
Now, let me ask you, because I always ask everyone who is a debut novel, what was the hardest thing in writing this novel?
What was the hardest thing in writing it?
Yes.
I would say coming up with all the different characters and bringing them all together in the story.
And so you started this story. First of all, how long did it take you to write the novel?
It took a minute. I'm going to say about 4 or 5 years, actually, because I started writing it and then I stopped. And you know how that goes. You start a project and then you stop. So it took altogether about 4 or 5 years.
Okay, and so it came out last month, right?
Yes, it came out last month.
Okay, and so when it came out, what was the most surprising thing for you once the book actually was in your hands? What was the most surprising thing?
The most surprising thing, I think, was the way people responded to it. I was so humbled and surprised at how many people actually related to the book and they liked it and all the comments that I got and everything. I was just really shocked.
Mm-hmm. And so
Really shocked.
what made you write this book? Because you know everyone says that every book that an author writes has a tiny bit of themselves in it. Is anything in this book, you know, because I read the book now, so I'm just saying, is anything in the book, you know, somewhat like you?
A little bit. The main character, Shayla, she's a little bit like me, you know, in the fact that she's a little feisty, but she's quiet at the same time. So Shayla is a little bit like me. So, yeah, it's just a little bit of me in there.
Mm-hmm. And so when it came to, and I always ask people this question, when it came to the love scenes in the book, did you find yourself blushing while you were writing it, or did you just get through it and not even look at it until it was in the editing process?
I was doing a little bit of editing as I went along.
Mm-hmm. And so when I know you have a son, so was he, you know, curious as to what you were writing?
Yes, he was. He would always come downstairs and, you know, he'd be like, "What are you writing?" Or, "Oh, you're in front of that laptop an awful lot lately, Mom."
Mm-hmm.
He was curious.
Now, has he read it? Will you allow him to read it?
He's 19, going on 20 years old, so he's mature enough to read my book.
Mm-hmm.
He has not read it yet, but he said that he's going to read it very soon.
Okay. So how did you come up? First of all, because I know Bianca isn't your name, so how did you come up? How did you come up with that name?
Well, I used to come to the area when I was 12 or 13 years old to babysit my cousin's kids over the summer. And they looked at me one day and said, "You don't look like a pastor. You look like a Bianca, little Bianca Moore." And then they just started calling me Bianca, like they literally changed my name.
Mm-hmm.
They started calling me Bianca.
So have they taken credit for your author name? Have they said, "Yeah, we used to call her that when we were little"?
No, actually they didn't. You know what? They forgot. They actually forgot. I was like, "You guys are the one that gave me this name."
So is Shayla's story, is that going to be a series? Do you foresee this being a series?
Yes, most definitely. I definitely can stretch Shayla's story over a few more books.
And so now are you thinking about doing, because you're an indie published author, and I know that's very hard to do. What was the hardest part in being, a publisher that has to do everything?
Basically, just like what you just said, you're responsible for everything. As a self-published author, you have to come up with the money for your ISBN, your editing, your cover, your typesetting, the whole thing, the party, the book signing, everything. Everything falls on you. So that was pretty much the hardest thing, because you have to come up with all this money on your own.
Right.
You have nobody else to fall back on. The project is on you.
Okay, and so have you found, what's the hardest part so far? Like now that the book is out, now the real hard work begins. What's the hardest part for you?
The hardest part now is, promoting it, because I'm not good at that kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
So, promoting it and, keeping it out there and, hearing from my readers and saying what they think and everything. So I'm trying to get some more help in promoting it, because I'm really not good at that kind of thing. So that's one of my struggles.
And so have you found that, are you making it available, through bookstores as well?
That will be a future thing that I'm trying to do. So I'm going to work on that project very soon.
Mm-hmm. But I know it's available on Kindle and all those e-reader.
Yep.
Yeah.
Amazon.
And so I know you have a day job as well. So what do the people at your day job think about you being an author, or do they even know?
Some of them know, some of them don't. But for the ones that do know, they're surprised.
Mm-hmm.
They didn't think that I was a writer or anything, because I'm a computer geek by day.
Mm-hmm.
So they're surprised. They're like, "Oh my God, I really like your book." And then the people that don't know, they're like, "Oh my God, you wrote a book."
Mm-hmm. So where did you come up with the story idea? Like, where did the story idea come from?
Just basically, different life experiences, not necessarily my experiences, but just basically, life experiences in general. So
tell my viewers tell us a little bit about the book.
Okay, so the book is He All That. It's basically about a young lady, Miss Shayla Richardson, and she's living in the DMV, and she's basically stepping you through different things that she goes through when she's dating, the kind of men that you encounter, just, getting to know people and, wanting to know their intentions and things like that. So it's basically, just the kind of struggle as a single person that you go through trying to find a mate.
Mm-hmm. And so what was the hardest, every book has a lesson. So what would you say the lesson is for this novel?
The lesson say that again, sorry.
What's the lesson? What do you think that people will get out of this novel?
Oh, the lesson of the novel.
Yes.
Hopefully the lesson of the novel is to, be careful as you're dating people, but at the same time, don't be too hard on people, because we're all human. We all make mistakes, and just date with no expectations.
Oh, and that's a good one. Date with no expectations. That's a good tip. see, you get the bail on that one because they would know expectations because a lot of people get on the first date and then they already planning the babies and what the children going to look like and what the mama going to be like. And it's like, really? Can you just enjoy the date?
Yes. Oh, yeah, I'm guilty of that mistake myself. I used to go on dates and I was already trying to see what my last name would look like hyphenated with their last name.
Oh, wow. Okay. So, yeah, I never went quite that far, but yeah, I mean, I never did the whole, I always used to practice. Did you do this? Did you practice writing the name, like with your name, like practiced it, like how it was going to look and what your initials monogram was going to be? Like, I would go that far, but I don't do that now. I was like, I'm a little bit too old for that.
Yes, I did that too. It's embarrassing to say, but yeah, I did that too.
So in writing this novel, did you take any writer's classes or anything like that to prepare you for, writing a full-length novel?
I did not. I didn't take any classes or anything. Writing is just something that's always been natural to me.
Mm-hmm. And so do you find that do you schedule time, with the day job and a son, do you schedule time that you work on the next novel, or is it just whenever the mood hits you, you sit down, you start writing, and then when it's gone, it's gone?
Right. Yeah, I don't really have a set time to write. I do it whenever I can, in between working a full-time job and just doing other things. I just write whenever I can.
Mm-hmm. And so I know you had a book launch party last month, which was phenomenal. Let me just tell you, I was just blown away with it. What was the biggest surprise of your book launch?
The amount of people that showed up.
Mm-hmm.
I was not expecting all those people to come.
But you invited them. But
honestly, I didn't think all those people were going to show up.
And so, what is your family think? Because, sometimes families can say, yeah, don't give up your day job. That's good that you got your little book out, but don't give up your job, baby. You still need to pay your bills. So what are you, because we all got family like that. What? You wrote a book, girl, that's good, but girl, you better not quit your day job because, selling books, you ain't going to never sell no books. So what is your family saying?
I haven't received any negative feedback so far from my family. They've all been very supportive. They've all been, just so nice about it and everything. I'm kind of surprised. No. It's all about that. So they've been all very supportive, especially my mom and my son and my aunts and all the everybody else. They've been very supportive. So I thank them for that.
Has anybody come to you in your family that said, now, Shayla is me, and Dwight ain't tell you to write all about my dating experience? Have you gotten that yet?
Yes, I've had that from so many people, family, friends, everybody. Oh, my gosh. I'm like, Shayla is not me. She's made up. She's a fictional character. She's not me.
They be like, girl, you can tell me. I ain't going to tell nobody. They all want to believe that it's you or somebody that you know. So let me ask you, who is the guy patterned after? Is it somebody that you dated that he's patterned after?
The guy in the book?
Yeah.
I made up all of those guys. I don't know any of those guys.
Are you sure? Because you can tell me.
Miss B Slang.
I'm just saying.
I don't know any of those dudes. I made them all up.
Okay, yeah. Mm-hmm. Wink, wink. So let me. So when you say that you can see Shayla having a series, are you working, right now on that, or have you decided I'm taking a break and I'm only going to focus on this novel right now?
I am working on the second book right now as a follow-up to the first one, so it will be a series. It may be 3 books, maybe 4 books. I'm still trying to figure that part out.
Okay.
And how far I'm going to stretch all these characters.
So do you already have a name for the second book?
I don't, not yet. I'm still working on it.
And how did you come up with is he all that for this book?
Because these dudes think that they're all that.
Oh,
so, I'm like, is he all that? No.
Okay. I guess you heard it here first, people. He not all that, and you not all that either. Man.
Right. Some of these dudes think they all that. So
I
I
know.
just had to put that title there.
But I think all men have to think that because they need us to think that so that they can get us. That's part of the appeal of the chase of the game or whatever they want to call it. They got to believe that. See, for me, it's all about the swagger. Girl, give me a man with a nice looking suit that can talk intelligently to me. Yeah.
Yes.
He could be on the trash truck every day of his life, but if he cleans up well and can hold conversation, yep, he's all that. And I would be proud to say, girl, he pick up my trash on Tuesday, but girl, when we go out, we have a good time. So that's how,
Right.
a brother just walked by with a suit on. Let me just say.
Exactly. I feel you.
So how long do you think it's going to be before your second novel comes out?
Hopefully, next year. I'm gonna say early next year, early 2016.
Okay. Oh, so you're not going to take 4 years to write this one?
No, now that I know all the ins and outs of this business,
Okay.
it should not take me 4 years to write the next book.
Okay,
This one should go a lot faster.
And so how do you I'm not sure, but when you do your marketing, what category do you put this novel in?
What category?
Yeah.
I would say more focused on the younger generation, because some of the young folks need help.
Okay. Oh, they need help. She said y'all need the help.
Yeah.
So so would you call it, because they have a new genre called new adult. So would you call it a new adult, or would you call it contemporary or urban fiction?
I call it contemporary fiction, but I might need to change it.
Okay. And
I might need to change it to young adult.
And do you find yourself, when you market this, are you finding yourself marketing toward the younger adult, say early 20s, late 20s, I guess, because I call young adult anybody under the age of 30.
Yes, I would say 20s, the people in their 20s.
Okay. And so I don't know if you have, but have you done book clubs yet?
I have not, but I've one of my coworkers has approached me about doing one of her book clubs, so that's going to be coming up soon.
Okay. And so how are you going about, the whole promotional route? Are you just focusing on it on the weekends, or are you trying to, go on tour, like mini book tour, or are you focusing mainly online?
I would love to go on tour, but I'm focusing online right now, but I would absolutely love to go on tour. Hint, hint, I would love to go on tour.
See, hey, you know what? Because you can't say stuff like that to me, because my girlfriend said that to me last year and we ended up being on the book tour. So you can't say nothing like that to me and not think that I ain't going to say, okay, Bianca Moore, get your books and let's go. Because I'm all about the promotional. I'm all about, helping other authors out. And I was telling them that when I first, how we met was we have a mutual friend, Sharon, and she has the Barber Lounge for Men, and I was there, and you came, and ever since then, we've been in connection with each other, so I was so happy and proud. I felt like a mother hen when your book came out. I was just so proud, and it was like, because I remember you telling me when we first met that you were in the process, and I remember saying, well, just finish the book, finish the book. And then when you told me it was done, I was like, wow, she really did just finish the book. So when you told people that you were in process of writing a book, what was the best advice that you got from someone?
When I told them I was writing a book?
Yes.
Some people didn't believe me.
Wow. And is
it actually came out.
And is it because you're such a quiet, reserved person?
Yes, I'm so quiet and reserved. For people that know me, I'm just so quiet and reserved. And then once I do something surprising, they're like really, really surprised.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because I'm going to tell you, your makeup was on point at the book launch. I was like, wait a minute, who's that? Like, oh, she is Miss Bianca Moore. Because, I always say when I'm swanging, I'm just like Beyonce and Sasha Fierce. I'm just totally out of my element when I'm Miss swanging. I'm just totally different. But, in my everyday life, if you know me in my everyday life, I'm not even this way. So when you showed up at your book launch, I was like, wow, wow, who is that? And like I said, your makeup, because Star did your makeup. And it was just incredible. So what are the things that you're hoping that this novel will do?
I'm hoping that it will really reach these young people, help them make better decisions on dating and just, date with no expectations and, just lighten up a little bit. Don't be so hard on people and just live life. Be happy.
Mm-hmm. And so, do you have any events that I think you're going to be at the Spring Book Festival, right?
Yes, I plan on being there.
Okay. So, do you have any other, engagements or any other events that you are already planning to be at?
Yes, I will be in my hometown, Cambridge, Maryland. Groove City, baby. We call it Groove City. I'll be there May 9th doing the book signing at Live Again on High Street in Cambridge.
Okay. Is that a bookstore? Live Again, is that a bookstore?
Live Again is it's like an art gallery, but they also sell antique furniture.
Oh, okay.
And they do something every month called the Second Saturday. So there will be R&B artists there. I'll be there, and it'll be a couple of other people there.
Oh, wow.
So,
okay.
Yeah, they do it every month. So I figure I need to really do a book signing in my hometown, especially for the people that couldn't come to this area for my initial book launch. So
okay.
I'm going to go home and have a book signing.
Okay.
Maryland.
Okay. And so you're going to do that on May 9th, and then on May 23rd, You're going to be at the Spring Book Festival. Do you have anything planned for June or July?
I don't. Not yet.
Okay.
Not yet.
Okay, good. So see, that every time I ask a question is with something in mind. So okay, so now that I know your June and July is open, so we'll get together with that.
Yeah,
so,
I would love that.
So let my viewers know where you are, online and where they can buy your book at.
You can purchase my book on Amazon.com. It's also available on Kindle. You can also find me on Facebook. You can find me under author Bianca Moore. My name will pop up. My real name will pop up, but obviously I want you to search for author Bianca Moore, and that will pop up. So you can find me there. Mm-hmm. And that's pretty much where I am so far.
Okay. And so again, the book is called "Is He All That?" And first of all, who did your cover?
Jessica Tillis. She's awesome. She did my cover, my typesetting, and my editing. She's awesome.
Okay, and what's her name again? Jessica
Tillis, Tilles.
Oh, Tillis. Okay, Jessica Tillis. So the cover is amazing. So it's always good to. Is she local? Do you know?
Yeah, she's local.
So it's always good to support your local artists, people. Jessica, tell us if you're having a book coming out or you need some work done, give her a call. You can, get in contact with Miss Bianca Moore. Again, search on Facebook for author Bianca Moore. You will actually see what her real name is, but just know you'll also see the book cover, so you'll know you're on the right page. So what other thing can you tell someone that is thinking about or is a new debut author? What advice can you give them?
A new debut author, I would say just, do it, because a lot of debut authors, they're thinking about writing a book or they're in the process of writing a book. Just write. Just keep writing and just, get it out there.
Mm-hmm. And so because you have your second novel coming out, I want to, invite you back whenever it's out and about. How far along are you in the process?
I'm a few chapters in.
Okay, so and because this is Shayla's story, we're going to be following Shayla along. Now, do you only see yourself writing contemporary fiction or new adult fiction, or are you going to branch out into other genres?
I think one day I will branch out into other genres. I'm a very spiritual person as well, so I would also want to do a spiritual Christian book eventually one day.
And would that book be a fiction, or would it be poetry, or what would it be?
It would be probably poetry.
Okay, because I think I'm a horrible poet, but a lot of people have that gift in them, and so that's one avenue that you can continue to write. Do you outline or do you just write?
I just basically write. Sometimes I outline, but most of the time I don't. Most of the time I just wing it. I just write. I just start writing. I write everything and then I organize it later.
And you said that you had that you edit as you write. So do you find that that's what takes you even longer?
Say it again. I didn't hear you.
Do you edit while you're writing, and do you find if you do, does that take you longer to finish the novel?
Yes, it does, and that's a bad habit I need to stop. That's why we have editors.
Right. That is true, because, they say most of the time, don't edit yourself, because you'll never be happy until, you can erase and start over so many times that you'll never finish the book because you're so busy editing it.
Exactly.
Right. So I want to thank you for joining me today. Again, this is author Bianca Moore, my friend. I can say it's my friend. You will see us on tour. I am very sure of that. You will see us doing some events together. So search for her on Facebook and look for her book, Is He All That, on Amazon and on Kindle. And, make sure that you support her. And she'll be in Cambridge, Maryland on May 9th at Live Again. So go out and support her if you live in the Cambridge, Maryland area. That's her hometown. So I expect her hometown to show up and show out. Okay? And thank you for joining me today.
Thank you, B. Swang. It was a pleasure.
I will be talking to you very soon. Girl, I'll send you an email.
All righty.
Okay. Bye-bye. So again, that was author Bianca Moore. Her book is He All That? Is available now. It came out last month. So make sure you go out and support her. She's a new author. She's, trying to make it in this publishing world. Our first guest, Stephanie Kelsey, her and her husband, Ryan, have a publishing company called Mojocastle Press, and I want you to go out and support them. Well, if you like erotic reading or, erotic romances, go out and get one of those steamy novels, or, you can always get that as a gift, or, give it to your mate or somebody, because let me just tell you, reading an erotic novel out loud to your mate before you go to bed, yeah, it heats up the night. I'm just telling you, and it don't have to be a Wednesday, people. Okay, so today we're going to continue getting you right on this hump day. At 9 o'clock, we got Kay Lowry Moore, and at 10 o'clock is Mood Tariq and Friends. But coming up next at the 5 o'clock hour, we have Miss Holly and Truth 360. They are always giving you some great information, coming up, and they always have some really great guests and some really great information that they share with you, for you, and about you. So make sure you stay tuned for Truth 360. I am B. Swangin Webster, again, fighting allergies, cold, and asthma. So I have been trying to hold a sneeze in for like 20 minutes. So I'm going to end my show right now because it might be a little messy if I don't. So I will see you again next week. Oh, and just so that you all know, my twin grandbabies will be here probably by this time next week, so I will probably have pictures. So just be prepared. And now that we don't have to carry a wallet, it'll be all online. So I'm gonna have twin grandbaby pictures. It's gonna be LJ, which is for Justin Jr. and little Jada. So from me to you, I'm living a beautiful life. Hey, Paula, don't forget. Oh, I got to tell you about this great restaurant, Alchemy in Baltimore. #1 restaurant for Maryland. So he was a winner. Big Michael was the winner this year for Alchemy Restaurant in Baltimore. If you live in Baltimore, you need to stop by Alchemy, okay? Paula, it is a date. You need to come down to Maryland, and we need to go to Alchemy. I'm just saying. I got the wine. I got the shoes. All I need is my girlfriend. So I'm living a beautiful life. I hope you all are too, and I will see you next week. Bye-bye.
All that I've got is all that I need. I got you, baby, you got me. What more could I ask for? Beautiful life. Beautiful life. What a beautiful life. Beautiful life. Listen, I woke up this morning, y'all. The sun was shining oh so brightly. I thought about how good this life is. Back in the day, it wasn't always like this. I think about the things we done been through. I think about the place that I come from. It wasn't always easy, so every day I'm thanking God for the beautiful people everywhere I go. I just need to see your smiling faces at my show. And when you're feeling real love from the family, every day is a gift, y'all, that's all I need. What a beautiful life. All that I've got is all that I need. I got you, baby, you got me. What more could I ask for? Beautiful life. Beautiful life. Beautiful life. What a beautiful life. Beautiful life. Happiness, it feels real good, y'all. For us once you get it, then we gotta work hard, y'all, every day. And don't pay attention to the things they say when they tell you that you can't make it, but you can if you try, y'all. When life is rough, I know sometimes you wanna cry, y'all. Just keep the faith and don't question. Ain't no need of stressing. Your life is still a blessing.
It's not about the cars, the money, or the clothes.
You can believe these things will only come and go, but when you're getting real love from everyone you meet, it's a blessing, y'all. It's magic, y'all.
What a beautiful life.
All that I've got, all that I need, I got you, baby, you got me. What more could I ask for? Beautiful life. Beautiful life. Beautiful life. What a beautiful life.
Beautiful life.
And now we all been blessed to be here, so it ain't no need for stress. We don't worry about the things that we can't control. We just pray and hope for the best. You don't need a whole lot of money. You don't need no fancy car. You ain't gotta be famous or a movie star. Just be happy with who you are. You got some food on the table and a place to live, and that's a beautiful life. You got somebody you can love, family and some kids, and that's a beautiful life. You got money in your pocket just to pay your bills, and that's a beautiful life. Just to make it through the struggle and you still be here. Now that's a beautiful life.
Okay, wind me up. DC, stand up. The Godfather, I got you. You spoiling me now. 6 years later, still the talk of the town. I put myself on, and then I put my team on too. Take home my BET. I spilled my drink on hold. Still I believe that, and I mean that. There will be no flow if you ain't sing that tune. We see police run joke. You put DC on first. I put us all on next, and now it's all on me to keep your name on deck. Okay, the Godfather. Gotta know that it's not a problem. Been in the pocket like hot tires and Saviata. Praying for a better manana. I hope I'm making you proud. I'ma rep you in honor. Irrefutable spirit. How your music get nearest. When I got that award, it felt like you got this shit with me. Ha. Life's good, still it's getting better. Still pray for Low and Benny. Tell KK hold her head up. A lot have done it, but not too many that done it better. Forget a record for all you done, you deserve a medal. A toast, a two for jump, EU for essence, for back, energy, UCB, TCB, hold C, rest in peace, this for you.
All that I've got, all that I need, I got you, baby, you got me. What more could I ask for? Yeah, beautiful life.
Greatest to ever do it.
A beautiful life.
The best to ever do
Beautiful
it.
life.
Amen.
Beautiful life.